Hello, party people. Happy full moon.
What up? What up?
Bree is in her deathbed right now, so
Deathbed.
allow her to leave her camera off.
Yeah.
She's a trooper and she's still here and everyone needs a Bree in their lives, y'all. Like, look, I'm repping her Black Alina-thon.
Black Queen.
But yeah, if you wanna introduce yourself, tell them what's going on with you if you want, however much you
All
want.
right. I have explosive diarrhea. No, I'm just kidding.
Not really.
Hi, my name is Bree. I have two YouTube channels. I have Lock Booktition and Lock Plantition. Lock Plantition has been on hiatus. We don't know when she's coming back. But that's that on that. I do some things on my channel. I always forget what I do when I have to introduce myself. But I do some stuff. I like thriller, horror, uh, mystery. I don't know if I said that. A crime fiction junkie. And I created Black Aweenathon. I know it's so terrible. It's terrible. Uh, I forget what else. Yeah. If y'all have questions, I can answer them. I'm having like a foggy brain right now about what I do.
And she did. So we're talking about Jackal, and she did interview the author. So
Yay, yay.
I have to go watch that still. I was waiting till I finish it, and after this, I know nothing about your thoughts. I know you loved it, and that you
Yeah.
loved the ending.
Yeah. Y'all, Jan about to be a hater today, and I'm going to be a supporter. So understand where we're coming from.
That's pretty much all I know about your thoughts, so I'm excited to hear the rest. She also discussed this with Gabby. We just happened to pick the same book with the same guest and then announced it around the same day, and it was wild. But
It was real wild.
so here we are, Bree coming through.
Listen, it's all right. This ain't the first book I've discussed several times on different channels.
So good. You like took notes and you said you prepared like different stuff for each discussion.
Yes.
Amazing.
Ready?
Hello everyone. Thanks for coming. You just finished it 5 minutes ago. Look at you.
Wow, what a trooper.
Half and half with the ending. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But we'll talk about that later.
Haters.
First of all, we'll do our ratings and surface level non-spoilery thoughts.
Okay.
What'd you give it, Bree?
I gave it 5 stars. Surface level, I feel like this book was important. Um, I think it was really, really important to be made, is what I'm trying to say. Because it sheds light on what is happening to Black girls and Black women around the U.S. And I love the play on the name of the book. We can get into that a little bit later.
God.
And how that ties into what's going on in the book. So yeah, I think it was good because the imaginary part of the book was very spot on to me because it kind of reminded me of like how often Black women are gaslighted about things that they feel and things going on, and how systems of oppression keeps telling them that they're not correct in what they're feeling. So that magical underpinning of the book really felt it just really felt real, sometimes triggering because again I'm a Black woman. So I don't know, it was just really good to read. I'm ready for anything else that she writes. Shout out to you, Erin.
It's a debut, right?
What'd you say?
It's a debut. Yeah, right?
This is a debut. Yeah. and she has a anthology that comes out next year. She's a part of the anthology. I know a lot of people don't like anthologies because they be like, yeah, I know you like anthologies. There's some people like, what? Some of these stories are trash. I don't want to read this.
Yeah, I'll link Bree's interview down below after this show. But otherwise, just subscribe to her and find it anyway.
Subscribe if you want to. I don't know. It's crazy over there.
Subscribe, period.
Yeah.
I gave it 4 stars because I don't know. It was so good, and then I can't spoil right now, but like the ending, like I said, I was 50-50 about it because it just took a turn, and it took a unique turn. So like it's a high 4. It was just like I wanted something else, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll talk about what I wanted later. But if everyone else wants to share their ratings, go for it. Reading the author's note was fascinating. I agree. I didn't read the author's note. I'm such a bad reader. I think this book is so important. The magical part of it didn't take away from the reality. Yeah, there were definitely a lot of good discussions, and they touched upon a lot of like stereotypes and everything. So, and it was like so seamlessly done. Preachy, it wasn't forced in there. It was just like casual conversation, just a line thrown in there that like had a big impact. So I really like that. Loved her writing, exactly. This is the fellow vamp, my patron, that took off work for this live.
Oh, hi, Lisa Renee.
Gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed. How late did you stay up, Lisa, to finish it? Love anthologies. Will read anything she writes for sure. Me too, honestly. I can't interview. For vibes, thoughts, discussion, etc.
My girl, City Girl Writer is here.
Thanks for coming. From Pennsylvania, not Johnstown, but very fascinating to read the author's note and info on Pennsylvania. I know nothing about Pennsylvania, but
same.
Yeah, so basically this girl Liz goes back to her hometown, and she had some trauma there, and then she finds out that a bunch of Black girls have been going missing because of these woods, and she goes back to the hometown because her best friend's getting married, and then yeah, shit ensues from there. Glad you did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was telling them, I was like, she's pulling through, y'all, because she felt bad. You guys are
I felt so bad.
Stars. The ending dropped it just a bit. Yeah, same. But I'm interested to like, I want to know if there's like connections I missed because I'm sure there were. Twists and turns. I was so worried for a while that it would be predictable, and obviously the brother and his dad, like less thoughts. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So I didn't say I finished it like an hour ago. Hey, you're here.
Yeah, love to see it.
You don't think I'm like a shady weirdo because I'm from Vienna? No, not at all. I promise.
We do think that actually. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. How long has it been? 8 minutes. Okay, we'll just go right into spoilers because that's how we do it around here. So if you haven't read it yet and want to leave, thank you so much for showing up. Love you all. And now, spoiler time. Okay. So basically, the ending. I just want to start with the ending.
Clearly.
So, first of all, a jackal named Jack. Can we just. That is what got me. I was laughing my ass off. Why didn't. It's like my stepdad, he, in the Philippines, he had a Doberman and he named it Dober. And that's all I couldn't get over the name. So what I actually wanted to happen, or what I thought, one of my theories was that, so like she was having dreams about this big ass dog, right? And so I thought it was Ace, that dog, Doug's dog, the officer's.
I thought that too.
Yeah?
I really did.
I thought it was just like it mutated because it was in the woods too long and ate some weird shit and mutated and like went rabid. I didn't think it was going to be an actual Jackal that wanted to be a god.
Yeah.
I mean, I caught it when, like, I knew there was going to be some sort of connection when, who was it? One of her friends got a Anubis tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And from then I was like, okay, something's there. But then I don't know. I just couldn't get behind the whole like recruiting her to be a god thing and her perfect heart and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you love about it?
So about the end?
Yeah.
So for me, Jack represented white supremacy. He represented like the idea that we are being tricked to believe certain things about who Black women are, even while experiencing violence. So when that reveal happened, I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking dope, because I always think of Jackal historically as a trickster. And I said, she tricked us throughout this whole fucking book. Holy shit. That's so dope.
I never associated jackals with, I associate like hyenas with being tricksters.
Yeah, jackals are tricksters historically in African American beliefs.
Oh, see, this is why I needed you.
Yeah, so and African diasporic beliefs too. There's a lot of communities globally have stories about jackers being tricksters and trying to convince you to do something that is not good, essentially. So I was like, oh my God, this jackal was out here gaslighting her, telling her she's special and she's this, but he's trying to recruit her to also believe that her body doesn't matter. He's trying to recruit her to get her to believe that she's this special person.
Wow.
And I said, wow, you did that, sis. You really fucking did that, sis. I was just so fucking pumped.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, see, when I first picked this book up, I thought it was gonna be like super sci-fi because of the galaxy on the cover.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just, yeah, I never would have known that without that
Mm-hmm.
context. Amazing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still not gonna change my rating because I don't change my ratings, but like that
I
definitely,
don't do that too.
yeah, right. I just keep it as it is, and then if I get a perspective, I'm just like, well, shit. I'm
If
just,
I reread it, I'll change it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I didn't prepare much for this, to be honest. I just finished this like 2 days ago.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah,
Um,
sometimes context matters. What did you think about the mixed media throughout the book?
Mixed media. I didn't mind it. I thought I'm usually iffy about that.
Yeah.
But I think this one did it really well because it just kept like adding on to the backstory um, and just like obviously the kills that this thing made. Um,
Yeah.
so it just like added to the intensity. And then with the writing too, like sometimes the writing got a little melodramatic, but also it like overall it was just really good.
Yeah. In the interview, I wanted to say in this one, in this review, our review we're having right now of the book, in the interview, you learned that I did with her, you learned about how she was trained. And she was trained to write screenplays and like short stories and things like that. And she was trained to be melodramatic. So
Oh,
you can see it throughout the book. Because for me, sometimes mixed media feels oddly placed throughout the book, which is why I'm afraid to read House of Leaves. Um, but this book, it felt like it just flowed what was happening. Um, yeah.
yeah, I just turned to a random page and one of the lines that I put so dramatic in the margins says glow isn't the word, it's more of an awakening.
Yeah,
Was after she had sex with that dude. With
man.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and she did a good job like with the red herrings too, like making us think it was Chris, and it was,
Oh yeah, the red herrings were great.
yeah. At one point when it was like when Doug was like, "Oh, the DNA matches you," I was like, "Oh, come on, that's like a classic, twist."
Mm-hmm.
But then it was a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Reading it and connecting everything makes the cover so much cooler. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something with the stars too, because she kept mentioning it with her mom. Oh, also her mom, toxic.
Terrible.
What the fuck?
I
Like
know.
everything under the sun. Like she commented on her weight, on her love life, on
Mm-hmm.
appearance. Like could not. I know a lot of my patrons were triggered by that. Parents.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's a lot of African communities in the world where that is common. And African communities aren't like there's Asian communities where mothers talk like that. There's Latina communities where mothers talk like that. It was very triggering. I agree. Definitely making you uncomfortable AF. Uh, yeah, I agree with that. I wanted to skip through her parts. Like,
Yeah,
okay, trash bitch, let's keep going.
yeah, like I mean, I've definitely experienced some of that, but not as like blatant and freaking intentional. Like, at family parties, at least my family parties, like they'd be like, "Oh, you look so you gained weight." Like they try to like play it off as like a greeting or like a what is it called? Like words of not praise, but
Yeah.
sweet talking. I don't even know
Mm.
what word I'm looking for, but yeah,
The
so
Yeah, there was a moment in the book. I'm telling everybody, it's page 177. Sorry, I was struggling with how to pronounce the words. This is a moment where I started to realize, okay, this book is way more metaphorical and deeper than it's appearing to be. And it's the last two sentences. And it says, Brittany's heart taught me about hunger and how to use it to keep a body in check. If I was ever to be more than a shadow, I needed to eat and eat well. And that's the thing about making sure everybody else believe in your tricks. You got to make sure that you get as much people believing in it so then it becomes true and the fallacy becomes fact.
it was essentially like a cult, for lack of a better term, that this Jackal was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it
So
was,
I like
it
that.
was trying to get folks.
So I like that aspect of it, but like I think the whole like wanting to be a god thing was just I don't know. But
Yeah. But
in it,
why wouldn't he want to be a god, you know?
I guess it was just like I couldn't picture what this thing looked like really. I pictured
Yeah.
the cover of Mongrels. Have you seen the cover of
Oh,
Mongrels?
I thought of the same thing too. Of
I
Stephen Graham Jones. I thought of Mongols too.
That's so funny. Here, let
I
me show
was like that little creepy ass wolf thing.
you those who didn't know.
Yeah,
That's what
that's what I thought too.
wow,
I did have a little bit of a Anubis spin on it. Uh, but definitely.
that's so funny. Yeah, I haven't even read that book. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Did you like it?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
'Cause it's in my 12 Recs by 12 Friends, so I'll be reading that.
Yeah. There's not really a lot of Stephen Graham Jones that I'm like, that's trash. He's one of my favorite writers and authors.
Where was I? Reading from Jack's POV, though each of the girls was super intriguing. I didn't realize it was Jack's POV until like Sash, yeah. Sash pointed it out in the Discord. I thought it was just, like articles or something.
No, if y'all listen to the audiobook, you would know right away.
Oh,
The
really?
audiobook was a fucking masterpiece because they had a male voice for Jack's voice every time. So you always knew when you were in his head. Every time.
That would have been helpful. I also I thought it was unique that the dreams were right aligned.
Mm-hmm.
just new visually. I love when authors do that, like the visual stuff. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Articles and text throughout a book thrown in. The articles and posts about each death was impactful. I agree.
Yeah. I loved one of the strengths of the book is it definitely upheld the notion in the Black Lives Matter movement of say her name.
Oh yeah.
And we knew these characters' names. And then even though Jack, when he was trying to murder the main character, um, you you still got the names with what's the little girl name?
Carolyn.
Carolyn, yeah. When you get to the like interview part of the book and they ask her and she says all their names and I started sobbing.
Oh yeah, I did. I tapped that and I was like, I put hashtag say their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got that.
Yeah. I just kept thinking reading this book. I'm like, this is probably one of my favorite books to feel seen of being like, you know, like just I mean, I get gaslighted all the time. Like I'll be like, I think this is racism. Are you sure? Because they didn't do this to another black person. Okay, well fuck that black person. I'm talking about me. I know a lot of white people who are fucking wonderful to me and terrible to other black people because I'm considered the nice one. When they don't know, I'm ready to blow their house up too. Like, shit. I'm down for a little anarchy as well. So this ain't the Negro you want to pick to be on your side. I am not the Negro you want to pick to be on your side. Okay.
Free after violently throwing up, y'all. Like, imagine being this funny. I can't.
I felt so bad. Every time I threw up, I'm like, Jed's gonna hate me. It's bad.
Not even.
Yeah. My best friend told me I can't leave my bed today.
Yeah, agreed.
He cursed me out this morning. I was like, but I want to, because we had plans. We were going to go like shopping before the live show. And I was getting clothes on and getting ready. She's like, Bree, you're shaking. Where the fuck do you think you're going? I was like, I want to go and do hood rat shit too. She was like, hood rat my ass. She's like, this is why people got long COVID because they're around doing shit and working when they should have been resting. And she's an epidemiologist, by the way, so that makes it fucking great. She's constantly telling me about some shit, and I'm like, okay. We're constantly being like upset with each other because she's an epidemiologist and I'm a therapist, and I'm always like, Winnie, that's a trauma response. And she's like, God damn it, it fucking sucks. Have your best friend be a therapist.
Well, no, the fact that you're even here, like at all, is insane to me. Like,
I'm a trooper.
yeah, for real. I appreciate you.
I wanted to do hood rat shit.
From your bed this time. At least you're still in bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay, Amber Flower Wine. I love that name, by the way. Really do.
Yep. I'm so glad Chris wasn't evil. I was gonna be sad. Yeah, same. It's like she just trusted this guy for the first time after all the shit with her ex, and then that happened. But
Yeah. That Chris guy, I mean, I said this, I'm repeating myself here, just so people know where I'm repeating myself. I am repeating myself here in Gabby's live when I was like, we didn't need the Chris scene. That was the only critique I had. We didn't need the scene of her throwing it back, but I also understand I'm asexual. And I don't really be liking to throw it back. I'm gonna throw a plant back into a new pot if it gets a little bigger, water it, put it where it needs to be. But throwing these butt cheeks left and right, you're gonna have to not. That's not gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? And she was wild with it. She was on tops, on the bottom, swizzled. They were doing the damn thing. She felt alive. She said, "God, our bodies was moving in tandem." I
that
said, "Not in tandem." I said, not one body, one move, not one groove, one smooth. I was like, this ain't right. And I just didn't feel like we needed her coitus happening on page. But I'm a romance hater. But she got her. I think she got her a couple times. I think she nutted a few times on that thing. So I
It was
just feel
literally like a page too, and
it was a
happened in a
it
page.
was so much how she flipped it down, scripted and reversed it. That's what young Missy Elliott said. Put the thing down, flip it. She reversed that thing up on him. I said, not you throwing it back for a man you met 2 hours ago. I said, God damn. No shade to us who be having, one night stands. Get you. But as a person who ain't really here for the sex, I was like, okay. Thank you for reminding me to hydrate. I do need a sip.
I literally wrote, I don't know if I love or hate this sex scene. It literally ends, now I'm terrified. I'll never fuck like this again.
I know. I said, well, damn. And then there was no mention of him eating the box. And I'm like, how could it be enjoyable if he didn't eat the box? And there's really people out here who don't eat the box. I don't understand. Munch, motherfucker. How are you not eating the box?
Motherfucker, not a hungry hippo.
Listen, there was no mention of the box being eaten. And I feel like dinner time needs to be served up pronto.
Oh my god.
You gotta sit on folks' faces. You gotta let them know what's up. This is what I hear on the street. I don't, know personally, but there was no box reference. I said, you did all of this with just penetration? Come on.
I'll never fuck like this again. Not 4 people leaving after this conversation.
Oh no, they did. I feel bad.
Oh my god, don't feel bad. It's fine. Oh, that's so funny.
They said Bree is out of pocket. I'll stop that talk, y'all. I apologize. I do understand that people are sex repulsed, so I apologize. I'm my mother's child. I'm sorry. My mama will just say it how she feels. I'm my mother's child. I apologize.
Don't apologize. Literally, it's adding character to this live show.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I going to say? Oh, the beginning.
Yes.
Beginning, when I saw that anatomical heart, I was like, oh, this is going to get dark real quick. I don't know if you read it physically too, but
yeah, I'm like showing the book to you, and I got my camera off. What the fuck? But I did hybrid read it. I read it twice. I read it audiobook and book at the same time, and then I audiobooked it. And I read it 2.5 because I finished that 3rd round. So
wait, you finished the 3rd one?
I did it. No, I didn't finish it.
I was just saying you have it down, so I didn't come here for that, but I'm here for it. I freaking totally agree with you. Thanks for bringing some joy and laughter to our lives.
We really need it. It's important.
I'm doing it with this ailment of yours. It's a belief system that was there before Jack was and stayed after John. He was just able to use it to give himself power.
Yep, exactly.
I just want to know where he fucking came from. Like, he just emerged in these woods. And then it's like, is it Ace though? I don't know.
Listen, it came from the minds of people. Jack was created out of hatred beliefs. That's how I viewed it. Because even at the end, she was like, I'm ready next time. Like, essentially, like, it was the end in my mind insinuated that he was still going to be lurking and she still got to be ready just in case she meets Jack bitch ass again. Little lurking ass.
Yeah. And then he got those 2 to frame her and stuff with a pink crayon too when yeah, that was intense.
Yeah.
You just fucked him.
Yeah. What did you think about Mel being everybody falling all over the place when she died, but then give that energy to Carolyn?
Oh, yeah, that one line where it was like, yep, Mel's death was acknowledged because she's white, but no one heard about Carolyn.
Yeah. Page 83 specifically. I'm rolling with y'all so y'all know where I'm at. Page 83 specifically says Mel is still avoiding the truth, being blind to color only makes you blind. And
Yes.
I think
That,
yes, wonderful. I'm going to give y'all an additional book to read that talks about the dangers of color blindness and how we should work together. So give me a second. I'm going in my Libby. There's two books. One is called Seeing Race Again. Well, just do focus on that one. Seeing Race Again is by Kimberly William Crenshaw. And if y'all are not, if you're new to me, you've never heard me mention that. But if you're not new to me, I love Kimberly Crenshaw. She is the Black woman who created intersectionality. So if you hear people mention it and don't give her flowers, that's who it is. Kimberly Crenshaw.
so Kimberly with E.
Yeah. Mel was a shit friend. I agree.
Also shit, yeah. Yeah, she came all that way for her wedding. Well, she tried to keep it in too. Like Liz knew that she was gonna blame her for Carolyn's taking,
I know, yeah.
and
I
she was
knew it
like,
too. I knew it too.
she was like, "It's fine. It wasn't your fault." And then
No.
it came out, and she bitched at her. She was like, "You did this, and you were probably drinking, and blah 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 blah." Talk
Yeah.
about
This is the thing. Proximity to whiteness will get you if you not have enough um internal protectors in place as a Black person. And proximity to Blackness will get your ass caught if you are not really on the journey of being anti-racist if you're a white person. So from the outside looking in, you might thought that, young Mel was down because she had a Black friend and her husband was Black. But that is not the case. There's a lot of things online that, will give you more insight to that. More, I don't have all the energy right now, so I apologize for that. But, you know, I think Mel was out here thinking that she's one of us. I think Mel was thinking, well, I fucked a Black man and my best friend is a Black girl. Like, clearly I'm not racist. That's what a lot of people say. And then you find out you are. I had 5 beautiful white men in my life at one time and thought they were so great because they did help and showed allyship. But then when a white man called me a nigger on the train, they left me while I was about to fight this man. So what I'm saying is proximity to whiteness will get you and proximity to Blackness will get you. Understand the underpinnings and how the world really goes, because you can't call yourself an ally or can't try to be firm in who you are when you are hiding underneath the guise that you are not susceptible to white supremacy or susceptible to color blindness or susceptible to discrimination, gender inequality, things like that. I hope that made sense because I feel like I rambled somewhere in that, but I hope we got what I was putting out.
no, yeah, that made sense. And the fact that you like forced energy out to explain that to us
Yeah.
means a lot. So thank you. Leaving her in the woods was fucked up. Yeah, I left her in the woods. I almost forgot about that. Who expects their bridesmaid to watch their child at their wedding? Exactly. That was another. Well, Liz kind of also volunteered.
But yeah, it's her niecey poo.
What?
It was her niecey poo.
Yeah, her and Casey too.
Mm.
Cute together. I mean, you saw it coming. As soon as she wanted, she was like, "Stay right here. Just take her with you. You're going like 10 feet to get a drink. Just take her with you." Why did you leave her out there though?
Mm-hmm.
And then her excuse was like, there were like 6 officers at the party or whatever. What are they gonna do? They were drinking too. So
And it was a white town. They ain't giving a shit. They ain't giving a shit.
she knew the trauma Liz had from trauma. Yeah, exactly. She knew
Mm.
that trauma because she was like, what, one of the very few people who knew what happened to Liz in the woods, right? Or did she not?
Mm. Very few people, I think. Yeah.
So
No.
the that Liz even survived that. Like, she got a whole bite in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I would not go back. I'm sorry. I'll be like, bestie, get married elsewhere. I'm not going
If
back.
my best friend ever told me to do that, I'm gonna beat that bitch up. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to fight a little bit. We are. I'm gonna look at you sideways. Like, what?
Before I even started reading
Yeah, I won't beat you up. I'll curse you out.
the Taylor Jackal, the part sections titled Heart, Feather, and Scales, I was like, Anubis. What are
Yay! See?
scales in terms of Anubis?
Look, Anubis has different shapes and different beliefs. But I was thinking the same thing. I was like, not Anubis. I also obsessed with Anubis too. I think that's also why I was really feeling this book. Have y'all heard of that TV shows like House of Anubis on Nickelodeon back in the day? I watched every episode. It was good.
Television series. No, I
It was a
haven't.
bunch of white kids trying to figure it out, but still, it was good.
I haven't heard any of these Egyptian topics since like AP World History in high school. So
Not AP.
I'm very like,
You heard that light flex, everybody?
oh my god. Not that I got a 2 on the AP test, so that's not even
Oh,
yeah, high school was brutal.
it was. I got a 3 on one of mine. I said, fuck this. I don't need this.
I think my highest was a 3 in AP Bio, and I cheated my way through that class because my my teacher was on maternity leave half the semester, so
Dang.
the whole thing.
That teacher said I'm with child.
I'm wanting a tattoo of that heart, about to copy Jan. Do it. We can be twinsies. I have a coworker who has one too, and it was a whole moment when we found out.
Hmm.
I literally brought her out of the woods. Children never stay put.
Yeah. Kids gonna be kids, okay?
Could never be me. Remember that show? I don't think I watched many episodes though.
Yeah.
I don't remember this show.
I ain't gonna lie. I own them on my Apple Music thing. Apple thing.
The
Yeah.
Moon Knight show had a lot of cool stuff with Anubis and other gods.
Oh my God. That show was really top tier.
Mm.
Top tier. It's on Disney Plus. It's so good. And the comic is good too. Don't ask me how I know all these things. I just get nerdy and I just want to be appreciated in that.
Oh, you are appreciated.
I'm like, the comic's good. The show is good. Yay.
I teach middle school history, so I'm familiar with some of the Egyptian beliefs. I really love the chapter on Daryan, I think was her name. The discussion about knowing your roots and how she was obsessed with Egypt, even though her mom tried to tell her heritage was West Africa.
Yeah.
Diane,
Yeah.
that towards the end.
I do remember that. I also thought like
Diane,
there's a movement within like Black Americans of like referring to ourselves as queens and kings, which kind of stems from that. Not kind of, it does stems from that. But then there are also people who believe like, look, we need to release ourselves from the Egyptian shackles and find other points of royalty to divest our interests in.
yeah, okay, so Diana, page 218.
Stargate. Oh, beautiful.
I don't know any of these shows. You love the nerdy. Moon Knight was amazing. I think one of the nerdiest shows I watched as a kid was Between the Lions on PBS Kids.
Mm,
Characters, favorite and least favorite parts. Do you have any favorite quotes besides the colorblindness one? Because that one was mine too.
yeah, I do. I'm gonna look on because I got different tabs for your stuff. So I'm looking for
Yeah, share all
one I
the
want to talk about.
stuff you haven't talked about yet. Just bullet point them. Go for it. I don't care.
Okay, on page 93, Morgan's girlhood, like many black girls, was so brief she almost missed it.
Mm,
Uh,
I highlighted the paragraph before that about the luxury of girlhood.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that somewhere else. That's why I didn't say.
Yeah, so there was a lot, even if you're not Black, like you could relate to this a lot because it also talks about like being a woman and misogyny and things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like,
For
oh.
sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Hold on, I got another one.
And her like little one-liners towards the men just got me. Like on page 66, when was it Doug? Yeah, Doug was like still not married, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm one of those awful women who has the audacity to wait for a decent man." I just loved her. She was a bad bitch.
Fatty. Uh,
The way she wrote gore too, like
uh,
with all the guts and ew, like all the insides strewn across the forest floor,
mm-hmm.
ripped her chest cavity open. I think she did gore really well, which I was surprised about because I wasn't thinking it was going to be very like have a lot of horror elements, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm about to say something that's not PC. It's on page 190. So I just want you to know. So my dad, a black man, as a kid, before I even got into the field of psychology, used to always tell me as a kid, Bree, watch out for the mental patients. That's what he would say all the time. Right now, don't say that stupid shit. So I'll be trying to tell him to come up with something else for right now. That's what he says. And he's always like, if he's asking you where you going, that's a red flag. If he's moving too fast and you're not ready, that's a red flag. If he don't understand that no is a complete sentence, that's a red flag. Just constantly telling me, watch out for these folks because they will kill you. And quite often in New Orleans, a lot of black women die from interpartner violence on the regular. And it's not just they being killed, it's like a man that gets so angry, not only would he kill her, he kill all their children, their sisters, their mother, their uncles, their who's ever in the house, and then kill themselves. So my dad is always telling me since I was a kid to watch out for the mental patients. Now, as a working therapist who's trauma informed, that is, the word is problematic, the thought and sentiment behind it is not. You must protect yourself. So on page 190, she says, an angry black woman can be put down without a second thought. A weak black woman is shameful. When I started to cry, he looked annoyed. I don't know what I was more embarrassed about. The fact that I found myself in an abusive relationship, or the fact that when faced with death, I didn't fight. I named things to stay conscious, but I could barely make out any shapes in the dark. So I named how I got there: blind date, whirlwind romance, push limits, fast proposal, promotions. His anger always came out around my job. And that's another thing. Oftentimes, there's so many black women who've talked about being a black woman and having success, and how that can really hurt a lot of men egos, like, oh, you're this, you're that. And I don't think that is just to black women, but more often than not, it's dangerous for black women, and we're constantly killed for it. So it's just, I just felt like she just kept hitting the nail on the, like, just kept, I just felt so seen because I have so many people in my life and my family who are in abusive relationships because it's better to be in one than to be dead. That's literally the choice. Stay into it, or I die, my kids die, my mom died, my sister died. So that part right there, really, it really stuck out to me. It was very real and hurtful. It's like what I said to the author is that there's a lot of nonfiction in the fiction, and that is one of those nonfiction parts that stood out to me.
I highlighted the bitch out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I put gotta love insecure men because
Gotta love them.
like the better my job was, the harder I was to control. I'd be making more money than he was. Like, oh, God, it grinds my fucking gears.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
that part was
Mm-hmm.
a lot, definitely. Really emphasized the slippery slope into DV.
Yeah.
I think it was chapter 18 that had me gagging. Oh my god, it was so good though. The gore, the deer in her mom's dining room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, when she like slipped on the blood and mud or whatever, and then she looked up and there was an eye, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. It kind of reminded me a little bit that part of The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
I haven't read that one yet, but when all the deer stuff was coming out, I was thinking of Get Out and the symbolism of the deer.
Oh, I've never watched that movie. Yeah, I haven't watched any. Only movie I watched of Jordan Peele was Nope, because I did not want to be triggered watching Get Out. You know, like I know what it feels like to be in communities where you're the only fucking black person and people just looking at you and feeling some type of way. And that's what made this book more impactful for me. She was like, yeah, you know, I was one of two white families in the neighborhood. So,
Um, yeah, I could. There's a lot of triggers in Get Out for sure.
yeah.
It is my favorite horror movie of all time. But it says so. I was looking at the symbolism of Get Out like months ago when I was doing another project, but it says the deer serves as a motif for Black men in representing how they are perceived to ruin neighborhoods, how unassimilated they are, and how they need to be locked up for everyone's safety.
Mm.
It symbolizes loss, helplessness, and his mother. I hope this is in context of the. But yeah, so that's what I thought of. Like the deer popped up again in this book.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah, because in Get Out, they hit a deer at the very beginning of the movie, and then there's all these like close-ups of deer heads in this white family's house. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I was curious, but yeah, I haven't seen Nope though. I've seen Us.
Nope was good.
Yeah, you think so? Okay, I've heard like mixed things, and I just haven't committed to the whatever 2 hours it is. So
I'm gonna be honest. Anything with Kiki Palmer in it, oh, I'm gonna eat it up.
True Jackson VP.
I'm gonna eat it up.
Oh, that's such a good show.
Mm.
Yep, this is such a good quote. There's so much nonfiction in this fiction.
Hmm.
Tough to read about, but it's so important. Exactly. Just falling over the yep. Ew.
I think that's why I love reading Black and Indigenous crime fiction more than any other genre. Because people read them and they're like, "Oh, I didn't like the story. I didn't connect to it." I said, "I guess you wouldn't connect to the nonfiction parts."
I thought you meant the gore, but yes. the
Yeah.
yeah, like what was that one? Disorientation. That one book. I don't remember the author. Hold on. Elaine Hsieh-Chu. Um,
Mm.
basically satire on like the academia world, the academic world, and um, I know a lot of the reviews I've seen that were negative were all people who weren't Asian, and then all the Asian reviewers were like, "Yeah, this is 5 stars." Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read this despite my friends not liking it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it is. Most books I read on YouTube, not on YouTube, but the books I read that are Black and Indigenous crime fiction, people don't like them because they don't get it. And as a Black and Indigenous person, and I mean Indigenous as like I have roots, my ancestry, um, I just be right there. And I work with Indigenous people. I work and do work in Indigenous communities. So it just feels so real to me. Oh, I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, I just said I can. Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh,
I don't know what's happening with my mic. Is it good? Hello?
Yeah, it's like some parts. It's like I didn't hear the first couple words you said, and then I'll just try to play like you know association or something.
Fill in the blanks.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to read The Only Good Indians. I've heard good things about it. It's so good. Okay. I'll pitch it to Joey. We'll watch it soon. Um, if you connect with every book, then you aren't reading enough variety. I read things outside my comfort zone to learn about other people's perspectives. Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
even if you don't get it, like at least you're reading it and then you can, look up certain things or have discussions with other people who are own
Yeah.
voices and yeah.
Some things are just so beautiful. For example, that girl they call RF Kwang
Yes,
breaks you apart. Nevo breaks you apart.
I gotta finish Babel. We're going to a coffee shop tonight. I'm gonna continue my read for Babel finally. I'm only on page 70. So we're gonna try
Uh-huh.
to get in that. Because I need to be at a coffee shop. I keep saying this. I need to be at a coffee shop, full dark academia mode, in the zone for Babel. I can't just read it at home like a heathen, you know?
Not a heathen. It be like that. That's how I am with there's certain books like if I can read every Karen Slaughter book in a fucking coffee shop, I would love that.
Really? I was
Yeah.
not it was like Karen Slaughter.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. And I like her because I in my mind she likes me because when I tag her, she always like hearts it or
She follows the library I work at and I followed her back and her memes are so freaking
they are so funny. Yeah. Karen Slaughter actually and uh made me be like, huh. I wonder what these stories would be like if a black person told them. Because at the time I only had access to white authors. And I feel bad. I don't read as much Karen Slaughter as I used to, but I do have a private personal project I'm doing to remedy that. But I do like Karen Slaughter.
wow. I learn something new about Brie every other day.
Hmm.
I've only read Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, which
Yeah, Winter Count was good. Yeah, Pretty Girls is good.
it wasn't as disturbing as people made me think it was gonna be, but
Oh yeah, I thought the author note at the end really took me out.
I really gotta start reading those. I read those for like books that I spend a lot of time on. Like I'm sure
Uh-huh.
if it's a novel I'd read it and stuff, but like
Yeah.
oh my God. That's one of the reasons why it's so messed up what is happening in Florida.
Yeah, fucking DeSantis.
The only time I watch the news is when I'm at the nail salon. So
Damn, I got NPR. I think the older you get, I feel like the more you're into the news, I feel, but I don't know.
yeah, I also like just got a TV, so like
Oh yeah, that's true.
Joey moved in, so it's not like we just have, the TV constantly playing and the news just happens to be up type thing.
Yeah.
I have it at my parents' house, but I never had a TV until now.
Yeah.
Our mom's coming to my city for a yellow Facebook tour. Oh, that's so exciting. I wonder if she's coming to mine. Probably not.
Yeah.
He's black. I have such horrible things about when he was young and in school. Breaks my heart when Liz talked about her high school experience. It made me think of him. Sorry, hit the wrong button. It's okay. I'm thinking about it. Oh, Nicole. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking so many books out of schools and libraries. Oh, that. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yep. And in where was it? I sent it in my Discord. It was like New North Dakota. They were like
Yeah.
freaking putting librarians in prison for not banning books that they wanted banned. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
It was like up to 30 days or something. It's like really.
Mm-hmm.
This great podcast that was like 10 to 15 minutes, quick and dirty recap of things that I find helpful for time management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a bit to
Yeah, NPR, I have the station on the car ride.
see every time I think about listening to podcasts, I'm like, I could be listening to an audiobook, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any final thoughts, everyone? Let us know. If you have more in your notes that you wanted to really get out.
No, I think that was it. I think we touched everything. It was just that last one that I wanted to say.
That was a lot in 2 pages once again.
Mm-hmm.
Sounding like you're losing steam, so I'm gonna end the live show.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Rob, possibly, man. Possibly.
Go get your nap. Take care of yourself. And everyone else also. Do
Feeling
some
like I'm about to vomit. That's why I'm trying to
thought.
not talk too much.
It's okay. Thanks for showing up for me. I love you so much.
Anytime.
Thanks for everyone in the chat for coming. See you
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
on supposedly March 7th for Man-Made Monsters by Andrea L. Rogers, featuring Bear, but that's also tentative because they're having like technology issues too. So it's
Oh,
okay, but we'll see. We'll make something happen.
yeah. I like Bear a lot.
Better Bree. Goodbye, everyone. Love you.
Goodbye.